Let's take a look at some Keeneland Saturday racing with the daily racing form past performances, DRF.com formulator for me for the past performances. Let's dive on in. And I have some thoughts on races 5, 7, 8, and 9 on the card for Saturday. So as we move to race number 5, we'll take a look at my stance in this race is a little different than normal. Like I'm normally giving you a horse or maybe one or two horses. Usually it's just a horse that I really like in each race or some races throughout the day. This race, I'm just a little anti on the favorite. So whatever your approach is and whatever type of multis that you're playing in this race, I thought there were a couple interesting horses and I don't like the 3. This is a horse who actually bet in the juvenile Phillies turf back in 2021. And following that race, she's just been really disappointing. Like she just never, that was when she was 2 and she didn't really continue to progress. Now, she came here last year and she was in the Breeders' Cup and then in the American Oaks. She took money in the American Oaks. She had some trouble in there too, but she's going to take a ton of money in this race. And I think try to beat her in the multis. The 1 is interesting at a big price. Think she has some upside. Should be able to save all the ground. What makes this race pretty tough, there's just so little speed in here. So you have to use a couple that would project to be right on the front end, like the 7. It's not as if she's fast, but she just might be a little quicker than some of these. I actually wouldn't be shocked if Beechnut Trophy just by default is kind of closer than normal in here. This is not a fast group at all in this race. So we're against the 3. Looking at horses to include the 1, the 4, Lovely Princess. Wouldn't be shocked to see this one kind of close up early. She's actually shown some positional speed and almost broke her maiden, basically pushing the pace, going a mile and an eighth. And I mentioned the 1. So like 1, 4, 7, 8. I might use combinations of those in the multis, just taking a swing against the favorite. Or maybe you just sort of wait and you see which of these horses are the best price, and then you can play this race sort of individually and try to beat the 3. Let's move to the 7th race on Saturday. It's a 6 furlong sprint for fillies 3 years old, which have never won 2. The 5 a little in this race. Let's pull up the 5 on the DRF past performances. Zapple. Now, she's raced 3 times. This is going to be her second start as a 3-year-old. Debut winner at Ellis Park in the slop, just crushes, wins by 9. And she's right on the lead that day. Comes back in her second start. They try a stakes race, and she just doesn't fire. But she's off from August all the way to March. So just eliminate that race. Don't even judge her off of that August 14th race. It was too bad to actually use. That doesn't give a fair estimate of her talent. But she comes back off the bench, and this March 10th race, she's close up 3rd. Then she gets shuffled back in between horses. She loses like 4 lengths. She gets outrun a little bit after that. Then she closes well. She's 3 deep. She's in between. That was a solid second. Again, you sort of go through the positives for her. That was her first start since March, so 7 months off. That was her first start since August, so 7 months off. Now she goes second off the bench. Second start at 3. First time LASIK. She's been working at Keeneland. She's got a little versatility too. She was closer up in that race before she got shuffled back, and she did show speed in her debut. I think the 5 has that versatility in this race that I like because from the rail, Aunt Becca probably forced to go with the inside draw. Unsung Melody, success when showing speed the last 2. They're going to want to go. Devious Stairs, close up. For Shadow, not far, right? All these horses want to be close in the 7 also. So I like the fact that the 5's proven, yeah, I can show a little bit of speed, but I also can close and pass horses. Second off the bench now, the 5 Zapple. Anything 6-1 plus feels fair. Right next door, it's the grade 2 Elkhorn in race number 8. Couple that I like in here, I would use in multi-races. The old warrior, the number 9 Channel Maker. He just wants to be forwardly placed, and in the races where he can sit a good trip or get the lead, he can win those races. Like he won the Elkhorn last year. He doesn't win often anymore, but he is a 9-time winner, earned $3.7 million through the years. And looking at this race, there's not very much early speed. I think it's his from the rail if he wants to go. Horse like the 3 Rising Empire, they can get aggressive, as they did last time out. Wouldn't be a shock to see maybe like one other show a little bit of speed, maybe from out here like Verstappen. But I think it's Channel Maker's pace to sort of dictate. So I'd use the 1 and then a couple other big prices. The 4, another mystery. So that Fairgrounds race last time out was 3 wide, about 7th or 8th, 5 lengths off. He was all the way up to within a length, but then no real late punch. They would go so slow in a lot of those turf races at Fairgrounds. He fits with this group, though. Like, his top races aren't far off, and he's going to be a big price. These are the type of horses I like throwing in. And then the one with upside, the 7, How Street. I think I said How Great. How Street. So, debut, good effort back in April of 2022, and then is off for a long time. Shows back up on January the 20th. We're talking 8 months. Wins nicely. Then stretches out to 1 mile and 3/8. It was really impressive. Just 3 wide, 4 length off, and loomed up. That's usually not the type of trip that wins on the turf when you're wide like that. Can he take one more step forward and then be pretty competitive with this group? Yeah, I think the 7 fits well here. I feel like he's going to get bet, too, from that 10-1 price. He feels more like a horse that should be 5-1-ish. So if he's 5 plus, we'll give him a look at playing in this race. 1, 4, and 7 for me in this 8th race. And as we move to the 9th race, it's the grade 3 Ben Ali. And I think the 4 Skippy Longstocking is the horse to beat. I think the horse to bet might be the number 7 Tawny Port. Was starting to get pretty good last year. Won the Lexington, didn't run poorly in the Derby, comes back and wins the Ohio Derby, not far behind Epicenter and Zandon in the Jim Dandy. And then after that, he just, he doesn't show up. He doesn't fire in the Pennsylvania Derby, put a line right through it. He's off from September to February. He shows back up in February in a race that he needs off the bench. And on March the 18th, he hooks the Last Samurai, Classic Causeway, Forza d'Oro, Vittorio, and look at the top 4 finishers in this race. They were sitting 1, 2, 3, 4 throughout. It was the no passing zone. Tawny Port was the only horse who made up any ground in that race at all. So now in here, kind of playing this race out, going down to the inside, you have Pioneer Medina, who should be forwardly placed. You have Trademark, who he has a tough time sitting when they're going like farther distances like this. Look at his fractions. When they go anything 48-ish, 47-ish, he's right on the lead to the half. When they go quicker than that, then he comes from off the pace. The races where where they go 46, he's off the pace early, where they're going 46 or so. But if they're in that 47, 48 range, he's going to be right in the mix too. Trademark, possibly the 1, definitely the 3, Call Me Fast. I think they're going to want to go, especially coming off that race where they had a bad start last time. Skippy Longstocking wants to be close. So now it's not a huge field, but we could have a few of these horses all trying to jockey for position, and that could set things up for a few of the horses to sit from off the pace. like Tawny Port. Rattle and Roll is pretty honest. Sort of look through the form overall. He had a slow start last time out. He was chasing Wes Willpower, who really freaked that day. Top 2 finishers in there were Wes Willpower and Art Collector. Another race where there wasn't a whole ton of passing. Those horses just sat right off. So I'd stack this race 7-4-5. Tawny Port, I think Skippy Longstocking's the horse to beat. Pretty versatile. Had a good year last year. You know, he earned $700,000. If you don't remember, this horse was 3rd in the Belmont. Skippy's the horse to beat. Tawny's the horse to bet. Rattle and Roll would be no shock for me. Some thoughts on Keeneland for Saturday. Best of luck playing the races this weekend. Good luck on Saturday. Over.